Hello, welcome back to Friday 15. We have 15 minutes, so let's jump right in. So our guest today is Etrit Demaj. He is the CEO and co-founder of KODE Labs. So in very simple terms, KODE Labs or KODE OS is an operating system for buildings. So imagine a building essentially is a giant hunk of brick and mortar, and you put in code and it transforms that big hunk of a building into this elegant, sophisticated, smart system. And Etrit will tell us more about that. But first, some cold hard facts about KODE. So it was founded in 2017, only 6 years ago. In that time, it's achieved a global footprint. It controls over hundreds of millions of square footage of property. And it has 0% attrition, which means no client has ever left KODE. Once they sign up, they become seemingly client for life, and which is already deserves an award in itself. But it has other awards as well. It recently got the 2023 Digi Award for Best Tech Innovation for Intelligent Buildings. And it was also just recently accepted to the World Economic Forum for Tech Pioneers 2023 cohort. These are spectacular facts. So when I have Etrit here, we're going to ask him, what is KODE and why? Why is it this? What is it? Tell us all about it. So welcome, Etrit. Thank you for joining us. And I unmute, please.
Yeah. Hey, thanks. Hey, Dena. Thank you very much for having me. Just to answer what.
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yep, we hear you. So let's start off. Tell us about KODE. Why is it innovative?
Yeah, thanks for having me. Just want to correct one thing really quickly.
Yeah.
We don't have a CEO at KODE. We have two co-founders, actually, with a founding team. So we run it as co-founders.
Co-founder.
Just want to make sure we're clear there. What is KODE? KODE is a smart building. It's basically a smart building cloud with the right applications for your smart building use cases. It's also a company made up of different team members, from software engineering, data engineering, to members that really understand buildings, client success, sales, as well as it's a broad wealth of profiles that have come together to hopefully keep driving the industry into a new path.
Cool. Okay, so just give us more practical examples. So KODE in action. You put in KODE, you said a smart building application. Smart, sometimes I envision it as this like giant cerebellum, like floating over a building. I know that's not smart. It's actually software. So what does it do?
Yeah, so in office space and in some of the larger buildings, KODE can bring value when you're at design, new construction, retrofit, tenant improvement, as well as helping construction connect to operations. And on the operations side, we give value from being able to have a single pane of glass for these different systems, and then added value like fault detection, digital commissioning, other building insights, also leaving the building more future-proofed, where you can quickly be able to add integrations like your work order, also IoT sensors and other integrations that come along to make sure that everything is structured in a certain way. And for different users like building engineers, property managers, it makes their days more efficient, easier. And then for regional managers, VPs, and others, they can quickly get a snapshot of how their buildings are performing and what's happening within their buildings. And then also for the actual end user, which is the people that are in the building, they get an elevated experience because it's an integrated platform that really allows our clients to be able to be much more proactive than they are today.
Cool. So let's say, okay, property manager, you own however many buildings. I know downtown Detroit, you have a whole bunch. What can they actually see? A single pane of glass. They can see. Give some examples.
Yeah, they can. It just depends on what they have in their buildings already, right? So, like in a lot of existing buildings, you have your core systems like your, BMS, lighting, fire.
Mm-hmm.
In some cases, other, clients have gone further and they have, sensors to be able to track people, access control, and obviously like cameras. So it all depends on where they are in their stage
Mm-hmm.
of their journey or what they're looking to see, what's more powerful for them, and what they actually can integrate to at that moment. So, a good amount of the time you start with that core part, which is your BMS, your
Right.
lighting, your meter integration. Then from there, you expand into other systems, depending on what that property manager, or whoever the client is, and what's valuable to them and where they
Right.
have their.
Yeah, and talking about that value. So where is the value? So you see it. Now you see your lights, you see your security, you see your heat, you see how many people are there, all those practical things. What's the value in that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Quantifying value, there's different
Mm-hmm.
drivers for that. So the values in energy, it's a really big one.
Mm-hmm.
Really being able to break down on optimizations. And then the other values are also operational efficiency, which is another huge one. There's a real work shortage in the industry today,
Right.
and in real estate. So it's more important than ever for our clients to start thinking about the future, which the future is really short term when you think about it. How you're going to recruit even younger team members, what kind of the software and the solutions that we use today for our daily lives versus what we use to run buildings are
Mm-hmm.
just it's outdated compared to using Chat GPT to write you a whole email and whatever you want. So code kind of becomes that bridge.
Mm-hmm.
So to quantify value, you can run 10 buildings with the same amount of people that you're in one building if it's in the same location, same
10.
area. So.
That's so we're going to get even more nuts and bolts here. Code for the commoner. We like alliteration. So let's think once again, those staff shortages, being able to run 10 buildings with the same staff as one. Let's take an example, say K through 12. So K through 12, big campus, lots of them are older. They are pretty much kept alive through a shoestring and a prayer. Sometimes, and also like maybe one IT director, facility manager, like 3 heroic people. So think about that. How does code help them? What is it? So you got single pane of glass. Yeah. What does it tell them? How does it help their day?
I think we sometimes get we think that just because some schools or other locations they have less things to integrate or less things that they're able to do, that's actually not the case at all, because they're used to dealing with the big four and some of the larger companies. You still have your engineering that specifies these solutions and systems that you're going to install anyways. So the process is the same for a large building that has a budget or a school that doesn't have a budget to run the building. So the schools that don't have a budget to run the building actually need code even more because they can run that whole campus with less people. They can have a lot more information and data about that campus all at once. Our clients that are in, our K through 12 clients, the kind of value that they see in code is being able to retro commission their buildings all digitally from the code platform, and then understanding the energy part, and then being able to optimize energy even with less equipment and systems that they have there, right? Because that gives them instant value versus just buying something and then just being able to control from it or having some alarm overload. code gives you that added bonus to see real ROI and to be able to quantify it pretty quickly.
Right. So schools, so they could see, so through the code, single pane of glass, they could see if something's not working properly by seeing anomalies in the data.
Yeah.
Right.
So
yeah.
What they're working with today is a front end. So like they're working with some kind of a front end. Most of schools typically, if they've chosen a front end that's a bit more proprietary, then you have to add something there that's cost effective. Once you add that and you can bring that data, enable that to come back to the KODE cloud, then they can start to see all schools in the same exact way, regardless of what type of system that they have. Then they can turn on the type of features and modules depending on the school and the level of smartness that's in that school or what you can pull from there. So in some areas, you can really analyze and better understand where your issues are and be more proactive. And in other areas, you can do that and be able to do more by controlling, commissioning, and doing other things. And then in other areas of the school, you can add, or they may have something that like they can do even more from not just like energy, but also being able to see and show, air quality and a bunch of other things that are valuable for the school.
Right. Okay. So, and talking on this idea of making it affordable, giving it access. So World Economic Forum, presumably that's some type of global vision. So tell us your vision.
Yeah. I mean, so our vision is very simple, and it's really to show value for every building in the world today. I think every building in the world is part of when you talk about carbon reduction and talk about some of the real problems that from a World Economic Forum perspective. I think from why KODE was also chosen as part of the World Economic Forum, top 100 companies for this year, is that we tackle the issues not just from top to bottom, but from bottom to the top. So like the core systems, there's a lot of things that we can do to the core systems and visualize and analyze instantly to be able to see improvement that makes the world a better place, and then that makes our environments better pretty quickly. So again, from a WEF perspective, I think it's a really big deal, and we have the tools and we're continuing to keep building on that. And then from a KODE vision perspective altogether, it's just having software lead hardware is extremely, it's the new model compared to having your, the big four and the others, install hardware to where now you have no choice but to pick proprietary software that also keeps you held back with these different providers.
Right. So you think about the world, humanity has buildings. That's what we live in. Buildings, and every building has those core systems. And if we can try to integrate it through a cloud platform, then you could just look at savings. You're not locked into proprietary systems. You can control, you can diagnose, you can save money, of course, which is what everybody's looking for.
Yeah, I think it's also, you can, you're not tied down to having to use the same exact providers who, I think, again, going back to the work shortage, having the right tools to be able to recruit more people in this industry and then to be able to see more data, more value right away is going to be extremely important.
Okay, so final note, recommendations and resources. So we are a partner of KODE. So we obviously are the front end for our clients, but behind us, we have all the code expertise, all the engineers you mentioned, and the development and everything to customize it, to make that code into what it needs for that specific use case in that specific building. So tips and resources, where should somebody go now?
Yeah. I mean, one of the first places to go to is reach out to DES and see, basically start from there. Or you can always go to our website as well. You can request a demo. Yeah, and then reach out directly to myself or anybody from our team. We'd be more than happy to have more conversations. And then I think those are good places to start.
Good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so thank you. That was a quick 15 minutes, and wish you and all our viewers a wonderful weekend.
Thank you very much. Appreciate you for having me.
Thank you.